It's the Parunak Family with What Trouble Are Giants.
Thank you. And while they're setting up just a couple things down there, congratulations everyone for making it to Friday and making it to Fur Rendezvous. That's wonderful. I don't know if your weeks are like mine, but sometimes things come up and they're absolutely insurmountable, or they seem that way. And I often find that's because I'm focusing on the wrong thing. I've got my eyes focused on my disabilities and not on the Lord's ability. And so that's a little bit of the story of David and Goliath. We're going to tell that tonight with a little bit of song and a little bit of dance and a little bit of cardboard cutouts. So I hope you enjoy it. And one of the things that we often think about with David and Goliath is we think it's a story about small versus big, and small wins over big. But that's not what David had to say. What did he say to Goliath? He said, "You come to me with a sword, and I come to you with..." He didn't say, "I come to you with a sword and a sling, and I'm a pretty good shot with my sling, and I'm going to beat you." He said, "I come to you in the name of the Lord, and I'm coming against your sword in the name of the Lord." And that's a pretty cool comparison. That's the kind of comparison we should be making. The Lord versus the things that affect us in our life. So what trouble are giants? If you know the chorus, if you've heard this song before, you feel free to sing along. Gonna tell you a story that you probably heard, and at the risk of being redundant, I'm gonna tell you something that may not thrill you, but it could not hurt. Well, it comes out of the sacred writing of the Israelites. It's the story of David, how he slew Goliath. Now the king of his country didn't trust in him much. So to David's alarm, he tried to fit him in his armor, but the thing was so heavy, David couldn't stand up, and so he left it by the river, where he gathered 5 smooth stones. Yes, it's safe to say he figured he wasn't going out alone. Get out alone, and what trouble the giants. What's wrong with being small? The bigger they come, you know, the harder they fall. When you're fighting for Zion and you're on the Lord's side, well, I think you're gonna find they ain't no trouble at all. Now there must have been some laughter among the Philistines at the sight of this scrawny little shepherd coming out to meet the record-breaking mammoth of a man who was a killing machine. But it didn't shake David, 'cause he was smart enough to know it's more the size of who you put your faith in than the size of your foe. Help me. Oh, what trouble are giants? What's wrong with being small? The bigger they come, you know, the harder they fall. When you're fighting for Zion and you're on the Lord's side, well, I think you're gonna find they ain't no trouble at all. What trouble are giants? What's wrong with being small? The bigger they come,